former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here. Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects? Following the interception here, Mariota. That's Samuel, caught left side. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one's incomplete. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Foreman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mariota. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off. And Detroit getting set to go now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game. But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. I like the strategy.
Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Bortles. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. A first scoring update now from Carolina, and it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Flushed out right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Bortles. On the screen, this is Coleman. They find some open field here. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. He let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
They go play action here on first down. Coleman has it here right side. A very solid gain of 27. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Coleman on the toss. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll toss it to Coleman. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Now that's a gain of 6 on the first down run. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
To return it is Corey Grant. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
He drops it off for Bernard. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Coleman, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Coleman now. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
Sunday. Hey, spread left. Spread left.
They'll run it with Coleman. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Mariota now on second down. Buying time to his left. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Mariota on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. A carry for Foreman. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Spread left. Sunday. 11.
On play action, it's Bortles. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Bortles. Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. To play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A first down throw for Mariota. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Now Foreman, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Mariota being chased out left. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing on first down is Bortles. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Bortles now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Bortles. This is Coleman with the ground. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On play action, now Bortles. All going deep here for Taylor. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Bortles again. Drops it off for Coleman. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And this now 3rd and 11 after that second down completion actually went back a yard.
Green 80. Green 80. Omaha.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The 20. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is up.
Again, it's Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he's got some space here. He's got room to run past the 20. Pushing through tacklers at the 30. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And he's got Fuller. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll run with Foreman, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, it's Foreman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle, there to make the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back near his goal line. Here's Bortles. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
To throw Mariota. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Mariota. And incomplete there. A nice base hit jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mariota now. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marcus Mariota with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Shotgun now for Bortles. Going underneath, it's Coleman. He's got it up to the 15. Showed off some fancy footwork there on the play. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Hey.
Now Bortles. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Bortles. Over the middle to Beckham. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
372. 380. 372.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, it's Bortles. It's caught. Beckham. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of it.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. This is Coleman. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Evans. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They run again with Foreman, and they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking it.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he's got room. Big hold of the 30. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down. Mariota on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 23. Throwing, Mariota. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And on the ground they go with the running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
On play action, it's Bortles. And my goodness, another interception. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On the toss, here's Foreman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
On is the punter King to send it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
and that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll go down at the 28. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. One.
Throwing here, Mariota going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. A 1st down throw for Mariota. That's going to be caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Money back.